welcome to the Horror Hangout, a podcast where two bearded film fans watch the best and worst horror films ever made and then talk about them. My name is Luke Kondo with a K, and I'm joined by my regular co-host, Mr.
Ben Errington.
Mr. Ben Errington. How are you, Ben?
Mr. Ben Errington. Yeah, I'm good, mate. How the devil are you?
Yeah, good. I've got tea. It's really cold in this house. I'm at my mum and dad's house. I'm on my own. I've eaten like a 3/4 of a pack of chocolate digestive biscuits. Got a bit of a sugar rush thing happening.
Like it. 3/4 of a pack. That's good going.
Right.
Have you ever looked at a pack?
Here, so I was just like.
Have you ever looked at a packet of chocolate biscuits and it says like 16 servings on it, and you go, "In what world is this 16 servings? Are there even 16 biscuits in there?"
I think there's like 10. So someone's maybe, I don't know. Maybe people are having a third of a biscuit.
If someone's having a third of a biscuit, then
they've got very tiny tummies. They're on a diet.
Tiny tummies. You got a tiny tummy. I'm having I've moved on from the humble chocolate digestive. I'm a chocolate hobnob man now.
I go for chocolate. I don't mind. Take them both on.
I'll take them both, but if there's the option, I'll go for the chocolate hobnob if I need to.
Dark chocolate or casual?
Milk chocolate, but dark chocolate or casual. I'll go for casual chocolate, but if I'm feeling a bit frisky and a little bit upper class, then I'll go for a dark chocolate one.
Chilly. All right. I like dark chocolate more, I think, generally. But I'm 30, so I have to at some point you refine your tastes.
Yeah, you do. This is a good podcast about the top 50 chocolate biscuits.
That's the podcast.
We've just an hour episode about each biscuit. Can you imagine? So
today we are talking about a certain film by a certain director. But before all that, have you got any other guffs you want to talk about?
So we've had a tiny little, well, not a break, but just it's been a couple of weeks since the last episode, so I watched a few things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into everything in massive detail. I'll smash out the highlights here, Luke. All right, smash out the highlights. Smash them out.
16 servings. Here we go.
16 servings. I can't remember. Did I talk about Skyscraper last week? Yeah. I've already talked about that. Yeah. Talked about that. Okay, that's one off.
Yeah.
I watched Gangs of New York. Gangs of New York's amazing. What a bloody film that is.
Billy the Butcher, whoever his name is.
Just beautiful. Bill the Butcher. I love the ending as well. It was a really poignant ending. Got me not welling up, but nearly.
Yeah.
I watched Mandy with Nicolas Cage, which I don't think you've seen yet.
Not yet. I want to though.
It's been getting pretty good reviews, but I think for me it felt a bit more style over substance. It was a really enjoyable watch, but I feel like it was a very slow-paced film, and I think I've watched a few things lately that I've struggled with the slow pace of them, and it's kind of affected.
You're too fast for the world.
I'm too fast, man. Anything's going on. I mean, it's batshit crazy. It's like a cosmic violent love story with loads of weird shit.
Black metal album. Someone told me.
It's like a black metal album, but with loads of synthesizers going on as well. I won't talk so much about that. I was a bit lukewarm on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll probably be Ben warm on it. I expect.
I'm always Ben warm.
And then I think we both saw Hold the Dark, didn't we? The Netflix film.
Are you a Saulnier fan? Jeremy Saulnier.
Yeah. So I've seen Blue Ruin. I've seen Green Room. I enjoyed both of them a bit. Not I wasn't blown away by either. I like Blue Ruin. I like Green Room.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that if Green Room is the punk rock of his filmography, Hold the Dark is like the Norwegian black metal.
Wow, all these black metal films coming.
All these black metal films, yeah. And I kind of agree, but it's another film that I feel really struggles.
It's so slow.
What did you say? Glacial pace? Is that you say it?
I know it felt very cold to me. I don't mean that just because it's full of snow in Southern Alaska. It's even the dialogue is not really real dialogue. It's just it's all very philosophical and slow, and I don't know. I wanted more Green Room. I wanted more tense sort of crazy. There's a couple of cool bits in it.
There's a really good set piece in the middle of the film, which I thought was good, was tense. Yeah. But even that felt a little bit dragged out. I feel like it's one of those films where I don't understand the motives of anybody involved. I hate that, and I really struggle to get on board with a film when I don't understand anyone's motive. Do you know what I mean? It just feels it's another film for me where I feel like everyone just go home. Another one. I said this about The Predator. Everyone just go home. Everyone just go. I've had enough of this.
What's
this
the main
nonsense.
guy's name? Mr. Westworld.
It's the guy from Westworld. The guy who was in Casino Royale. Is it like Jeremy? Jeff? No. God, I can't believe I've forgotten.
He's like he has no race. He's like I don't know
raceless. It's Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, yeah. He's like his character in this. What he got a letter from an insane grieving mother about killing the wolf who killed her child, and then if
you got that letter,
I don't understand why. I don't know. Maybe he wanted some.
If you got that letter, you might ring her up and go, "Look, I've got your letter. What's all this about?" But he just goes there.
Yeah.
Turns up and goes, "Look, I'm here to I'm here to probably kill that wolf." It was just a weird film. It was neither here nor there. And I'm really finding it hard with anything I see Alexander Skarsgård in these days. He's fast becoming an actor that if I see his name on a poster or whatever, I go, oh, really? Do I want to look at his face again for a couple of hours? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like me, just for an example, before anyone thinks, oh, that's not very fair. Mute, no, didn't like that. The Legend of Tarzan, awful. Went into that at all. There, I'm out. What else was he in? I think he's in Battleship. He was in the Straw Dogs remake.
Ooh. Oh yeah, he was. Yeah. With James Marsden.
To be fair, I couldn't tell you one film I've seen him in where I've gone, Alexander Skarsgård, what a man. Now I just look at him and I think
Skarsgård is doing
right. Yeah. There's a few Skarsgårds. There's Bill. There's Bill obviously since Pennywise. Stellan. Yeah. Is that his name?
He's
in Thor and stuff like that.
One of them died recently, didn't he?
Oh God, really?
I think I don't know. Maybe I made that up.
Anyway, so Alexander Skarsgård basically just have a day off.
Yeah, chill out, mate.
Chill out, mate. Just find. Find a film that just isn't shit. I'm sorry. I don't think Hold the Dark is shit as such. It just wasn't great.
Yeah,
I mean, I
give it
lukewarm.
a C sort of thing. It was all right. I haven't seen, because in October you kind of feel like that's going to be Halloween horror movie month, so you kind of hold back a little bit. So I haven't really watched it. I watched Rats. Have you seen that documentary? Well, I watched some of Rats. I fell asleep. Rats is a documentary by Morgan Spurlock about the rats in New York, and he says there's like 18. There's like 18 million people who live in New York, and there are more rats, and you don't see them every day. Like you went to New York, you might not have seen them, maybe seen a couple of them, but then if they show you, like if you look at like a sewer grate for long enough, you'll just see 5 or 6 rats just jump out and go back in. And there's a bit where they took like one of those tube cameras and they shoved it in the grate, and he goes down into this like under the streets, and then it pulls back and you just see shitloads of rats just like staring at this camera. It's freaky, like how many rats there are. Like it's unbelievable.
Maybe that's worth a watch. I don't know. I feel like Morgan Spurlock. To be fair, I think I've only ever seen Super Size Me and then like interviews he's done.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Rats.
Yeah. Anything else on your 16 servants?
That was it, pretty much. I've been watching a bit. I finished season 2 of Ozark on Netflix, which I think is nah. I'm kind of like, as it went on and on and on, I just got less and less interested. Yeah. Jason Bateman, I think his character feels like he's got no arc. Feels like everyone else has, but he hasn't. He's just like he does the same thing. And there was some stuff in the first series which kind of hinted towards his character being quite interesting, but in the second series, he is literally just like background noise. Yeah. And I think it's just a massive shame. And it feels like any issue they have in this series, they solve it like in pretty much the same way. There are a few like unexpected deaths, like Breaking Bad style. You know, when a major character in Breaking Bad would die, and you go, "Holy shit! I can't believe they killed that person."
Yeah.
A few of those moments, which I was a bit like,
"Oh, I like those moments."
Yeah, get on board with that. I like those moments. Yeah. But other than that, it just feels very. It's just I don't know. I just feel like
I don't watch TV shows much anymore because I always feel like just watch the first episode and the last episode, and like the most of the in between ones, they're just like I don't know. They're just dragging it on for the sake of. Content. Sorry about content.
Content.
Yeah.
Well, Ozark was 10 episodes, and I feel like it could have easily been 6. I know like the American stuff isn't ever that short, really. But yeah, it just feels like it just goes in one direction and the next, and then like, and some people like that, but I just feel like I'd rather just, focus on one thing and just get there in a roundabout way, rather than just going all over the place and just nothing being resolved and everyone being, it's just I find it exhausting. I find it hard to commit to a film sometimes. I'm like an hour into a film and I'm like, God, bloody hell, I don't know how I can persevere with this. Let alone a series. That's a lot of time in your life to dedicate to just lying there or sitting there and
lying there,
or whatever you do. Sometimes you might run to it, like on a treadmill, but very rarely.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I mean, give me like I don't know, a 10-minute film. Just get in and out.
It's all about the short films.
Yeah,
in and out.
So it's talking about films that you may have laid down to watch or not. Today we're going to be talking about 2002's Dog Soldiers. I think it was your suggestion, this one.
Yeah, it's kind of been like lingering on the outskirts of my mind for a few months, and I've kind of been thinking about watching it, so I thought, why not do it?
Yeah.
For a podcast, mate.
What's it about, mate? What's it all about?
Well, Dog Soldiers is a 2002 action horror film written and directed by Neil Marshall, starring Kevin McKidd, Sean Pertwee, and Liam Cunningham. Lots of other people as well. So basically, tons of them. So a routine military exercise turns into a nightmare in the Scottish wilderness. I mean, it's pretty nightmarish.
That's the blurb, right?
That's the blurb. I mean, there's nothing else. That's all you can have.
Yeah, well, it's enough. I mean, that is the film. Written and directed by Neil Marshall. Neil Marshall obviously done all right. He did The Descent, which is classed as one of the best horror movies ever made. He did that episode of Black Mirror with the robot dogs, which I really liked. Not everyone liked that one. I thought it was good. Did an episode of Game of Thrones. Was one of the big ones.
He's done a few Game of Thrones things, I believe. Actually, I don't know. I say that, so I didn't. I've said that with literally no fact to back it up. I just
no, I like it. Just say stuff. Okay.
Well, yeah.
And he's
right.
he's a transvestite. Why not? Just throw it in.
I believe that for a second when you said that. He's done an episode. He's done an episode of Westworld. He's done an episode of Constantine, which I think was cancelled. He's done an episode of Hannibal. Lost in Space. He just got his finger in loads of pies.
Yeah, and he is doing the new Hellboy film, which we've just seen the poster for.
Yeah, so the poster came out like yesterday. Well, by the time this podcast goes live, it's been out a couple of days. I mean, it's utterly badass, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks. And I've seen some hate on the tagline, which I think just says "Legendary AF," but I kind of feel it's fitting. I mean, the comics were always very dark, but they also had like a pulpy sort of fun, I don't know, sort of playfulness to them. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think so.
That's like the kids talk, innit? AF? Did they say that?
AF. But to be fair, like
you've got a daughter.
Looking at she definitely doesn't say that. Looking at the poster, I mean, the tagline was like one of my last thoughts. Yeah. Everything else, I was just like, holy shit, he's got like a glowing sword. Oh my god, he looks ripped. Oh my god, he's got massive horns. All that stuff.
Yeah, the flames are really it's really vibrant, really in your face. You can practically feel the heat coming off it. Yeah,
it looks really good. And I mean, I wasn't sure when is it David Harbour was first attached to it.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to be a very fitting actor for me, but
I don't know. I looked at the size of his head, and I was like, yeah,
he's got a big head. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at his head right now. But I don't know. I guess just because
heavy. That's why I looked at it.
just because of the just because of the Stranger Things stuff, like it wasn't something. But yeah, this cast looks pretty good. Mila Jovovich is like the villain, I believe. Ian McShane is in it. Some other people. I mean, I know. All we've seen is like a photo and a poster, but sometimes it's pretty banging, doesn't it?
I mean, the last ones with Del Toro, I do kind of feel they were perfect for his oeuvre, but I think Neil Marshall done a lot of good stuff, and like this film we're talking about today, I can see that progression. This and Descent, and because this is like a comedy to me as well. I know it takes itself seriously, Dog Soldiers does, but it's still like it's got the kind of snatch English comedy, but like English people don't talk. English people are not that witty. Like they don't constantly like
lads.
Yeah.
They haven't always got like the next put down ready to go.
Yeah.
Before we go into that, sorry, I just want to mention that Neil Marshall's done some dodgy films as well. He made Doomsday after The Descent.
See,
and
I like
Centurion.
that, but I was quite young, so it might be
Centurion. It is with what's his name, Fassbender, isn't it?
Never heard of it.
That was meh, and Doomsday I was a bit meh with as well. So, but the Dog Soldier and The Descent are definitely two of my favourite films.
Yeah. So this film, I mean, okay, Dog Soldier. I remember watching this. I don't know, maybe I was 15 or something, and I remember it being kind of perfect for that age because I couldn't. The cheesy aspects of this film didn't seem cheesy to me back then. Like this film's got the thing where the locator will come on the screen and it'll go as if like it's bleeping.
Yeah.
As if someone's like writing it. Like that doesn't happen in real life, unfortunately. And like
it'd be good if it did.
Yeah. The bleepy bits happen, and then there's like again Neil Marshall. I pulled him about this on The Descent when we reviewed that. The hero music, it's so like cheesy to me. Like I don't know, something about it just makes me think like of 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger rip-off movies. Like that sort of I don't know. That's that music. Universal Soldier 2, that level of the soundtrack. It's
definitely got those sensibilities because I think. Something I watched on YouTube recently was like a comparison video between this and Predator. How the like macho element of these characters who seem like almost unbeatable just gets like taken apart, like and how quickly it happens and sort of what that means for the protagonists and that. And I just found that again that's one of the things that got me thinking about this film. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw this in the cinema. I have a memory of that. But I'm assuming it's an 18. I think when it came out in 2002, I was 16. So little sneaky in there, yeah. But yeah, I remember being like pretty affected by it. I've always kind of been quite fascinated with werewolves, but never really loved a werewolf film apart from American Werewolf in London as much.
Is that because when you see a werewolf, like they're kind of cool until you see them and you're like, it's like a weird costume sort of.
Yeah, I mean exactly. I mean that this is like a weird costume, but there's something really, really creepy about these werewolves. And that yes, you see them up close, and yes, you see them from afar, but there's something about their height, and I think they're all played by like dancers as well, so that their movements were kind of all very like smooth.
One of them was doing the worm towards that person.
One of them was doing the robot. One of them was break dancing. There's just something proper freaky about them, I find. Like you could, you look at it and you go, "That's a person in a costume or something." Yeah. But there's something still scary about it. If they'd have been like 6 foot tall, I think they wouldn't have been quite as. They would have looked a tad ridiculous. The fact that they're like 9 foot tall, maybe.
Well, they look like they were on stilts.
Stilts or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Platform shoes, discoing around.
But yeah, there's something about it, just like. This was the first film I think where I felt since An American Werewolf in London. This was the first werewolf film where I felt creeped out by werewolves again. Because I think everything that kind of we'd seen around about this era. So we'd seen like Underworld, Van Helsing. I'm not sure if they came before or after.
It's all very CGI,
but that's very CGI, and you know what? People shedding their skin and suddenly being a werewolf. There's just something really odd, and I don't think this film didn't focus too much on the transformation thing.
It did. Where someone gets thrown behind a table, and it's like that table is not like a solid thing. You could look, like you dip your head, you can see under that.
Yeah. But I feel like if we would have seen a transformation, it may have kind of ruined it a bit, because I think one thing that shows off a film's budget immediately is what the transformation scenes. American Werewolf in London is like. Is an extreme case.
You know how you get around it. You hire someone who can move their ears. Just get a quick close-up of that sort of ear moving, that freakish ear moving thing. And then,
Are you an actor? No. Could you move your ears? Yeah. Get in the film.
Just have a quick close-up of someone's ear moving, and then pull away to the table the thing. And I'd be convinced. Fucking hell, that's a weird dude.
That is a werewolf. Basically, it's just like. This is like contact lenses, fake teeth,
nails.
and you go, Always turning.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think they probably just went, look, doing a bloody transformation is going to be right ball ache. Let's just and it don't ruin it for me.
I say that as well. Yeah.
It ruined it for me. It made me kind of think, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So it's filmed on 16mm, so it was low budget. It's made for like £2 million or $2 million, which is kind of a big budget nowadays. But back then it was like low budget, and you can tell it's filmed on 16mm. It's very grainy, sort of very. It doesn't look polished. It looks low budget. There's parts of the film where I think it just looks like a group of lads mucking about in the woods. But I also think that kind of works for it. I mean, it just kind of seems kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, like the relationship between everyone is great. The fact that they're there when there's an England football match happening, like the England versus Germany match, the 5-1 game, that's happening. So they're like a few of them are a bit sort of like put out by it, or what we doing on this training mission. But yeah, those sort of British sensibilities sort of come into it, and the camaraderie and the banter.
The bants, proper bants.
The bants, all about the bants.
That bit where they were nipped to Nando's. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, and they don't all strike me as like super competent soldiers either. Like a few of them are like got these tendencies.
Cooper? Private Cooper.
Well, some of them are definitely like Cooper, and the dude play. What other one's Wells? Is that another one?
Spoon. There's one called Spoon. That I was convinced they were saying Spoon with an M.
Spoon.
Most of the film. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not a word, so obviously, obviously that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of them don't feel so competent. Like when they get hold of some actual weapons with live ammunition later, that like some of them are like misfiring and like getting stuck when they're trying to reload. Yeah. Like so that's the thing. I think that human element. Whereas in comparison to Predator, a film that was obviously I saw a comparison to, like they're obviously super macho, perfect super soldiers, like blowing it. The first mission they have, they just take everyone out with like,
action hero style.
Action hero style. Whereas these guys, you're a bit more like, oh shit, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what? Steady on, mate.
It's good because the people who are there to sort of deal with the problem, who are kitted out for it, they got fucked up like last week or whatever, however it worked. And these people, I think we find out later on. We'll get into the plot in a minute. These people were the bait, right? It wasn't actually this training mission it was set out to be.
So they pretty much the bait. I think they were chosen for whatever reason. Obviously, a few of them were chosen because they were connected to the
when I want Alaska to do like a new trick, I get the treats out and I use that as bait to get her to do something. It's a similar sort of idea.
It's pretty much the same, yeah.
It's pretty much the same. The key players we got here, I don't know, Sean Pertwee, who you'd recognise. I didn't know his name. He gets top billing in all the credits and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's not even the main dude. Private Cooper is the main dude.
Out of everybody though, he's probably the biggest name in this, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because his dad was Wurzel Gummidge, isn't that right?
Is that right? I didn't know.
That's true. John Pertwee, his dad was Wurzel Gummidge. Wurzel Gummidge. I don't even know that. I don't even know if that's his voice.
Yeah, well, I think it must be.
But yeah,
trivia there.
He was in. I think he's in quite a few British films. I think Sean Pertwee.
You'd recognise him. He's in Gotham. I never watched that, but I just saw that he's in Gotham. He's
in Alan Partridge film.
So if you get one of my men killed, I will take my uniform off and make you pay for it. What? You want me to buy your uniform?
Yeah.
That's my favourite line in that film. So good. Kevin McKidd. I don't really know this guy. He plays Private Cooper, sort of the very skilled one of the stand. Like the work is good, but he's still working class. I look at his credits, and he's done loads of stuff, but I don't really recognise him too much.
He's in Trainspotting. He's one of the guys who's like the mates of the main crew, and he ends up like dying from an overdose, and everyone's like, "Oh bloody hell! If it could happen to him, it could happen to anyone."
Yeah.
I only know this because he's in absolutely loads of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, so that's another show that I've never seen.
Yeah.
Emma Cleesby plays a woman called Megan, who
she plays a woman.
A woman. I didn't recognise her, to be honest. She comes into it later on. She's a bit of a mystery vet. I don't know.
Mystery vet. That is definitely the name of a Channel 5 show. Mystery vet.
Liam Cunningham, who we know as Davos from Game of Thrones. plays Captain Ryan, who's sort of like captain of the bad guys. He's the guy. He's the government. He's the man.
And you can tell that he's evil because
Yeah.
of the way he talks.
He talks
and the
very
fact...
posh, but like through his tongue, like
very.
I think his tongue
Exactly.
is swollen. Yeah.
Why didn't you shoot the dog? Come on.
Yeah. That's
Like you
good.
can tell he's evil just by the way he talks. That's it. And
Yeah.
you got if you're that well spoken, you're definitely evil. Yes.
There's another guy called Corporal Bruce Campbell, which I found out later on was a reference to the Evil Dead. Apparently, there's loads of little references to other horror movies that I just I didn't really pick up on.
Bruce Campbell. I didn't even notice that, but yeah, that's a bit of an obvious reference to someone, isn't it? They could have called him Bruce Campbell. I don't know.
Yeah, Bellcamp. So there's a few other people in there. There's quite a lot. It's quite a big cast, and most of them I don't really know too much. I don't know from anywhere else. Maybe an advert or something. Who knows? But yeah, man, the story. How does it kick off?
So we kind of like turn up in Scottish Highlands. There's like a couple who were having a lovely
Having it off.
having a what?
They're having it off, aren't they?
Oh, you would say that, wouldn't you? I think they're just having it having it off. First of all, if you're in a horror film, don't have it off.
Don't have
you know
it
what
off.
happens.
That's
You immediately-
Scream. That's what he says. Don't have it off, lads. And then
Don't have it up. Yeah, so they're camping, and I think they're just like chilling, having some beans straight out of can or something like that.
Yeah.
And then doesn't she give him like a letter opener, silver letter opener?
She says, don't lose it because it's solid silver. Like she makes a big point about it because it's a plot device. Someone needs to know that. It's also like it's like the X-Files or Supernatural before the credits start. Is that kind of introduction to?
I like that though.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I like that stuff. Yeah. I like it when an X-Files episode opens like that, and you know someone's going to go down, especially if in the woods.
Yeah, and
you know there's going to be a creature or something.
Yeah.
So we don't see anything. Just a tent just gets.
Oh yeah, they don't take any tits out or anything like that.
But when the tent starts zipping up, like, would you just lie there and watch it? Because they just lie there and watch it. Like, what the fuck's going on?
I don't know what you could do. I mean,
close it.
Get in your sleeping bag and zip yourself up. Like, no one
say something. I think you'd say something. You'd say,
occupied.
"Who's that?"
Yeah, I suppose.
And then when you
Yeah.
When you hear someone growling, just go, Jesus, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Give
him a tum. Or an
so the girl kind of gets like dragged. Give him a. The girl that gets dragged out, and the man's trying to grab hold of her, and then he gets a spray of blood in the face.
Yeah.
And then he gets eaten, but killed or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't see who's attacking him or what happens. And even though we're watching a film called Dog Soldiers, we go like, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Could be anything. Could be the Blair Witch.
I think I read as well that the producers wanted to change the name of the film to Night of the Werewolves. I think Dog Soldiers is a way better name. But this
Night of the Werewolves.
I know, yeah. Dog Soldiers has so much more character to it. It just feels like I don't know. For the rest of my life, I will always, whenever I hear the word Dog Soldier, I'll always think of this.
Yeah, Night of the Werewolves. That's too on the nose, isn't it? That's literally on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Soldiers versus werewolves.
Soldiers versus werewolves. That's quite good, actually. I like
that. That's slightly more on the nose.
Yeah. Okay, so then we cut to somewhere in Wales. We get the bleeping, like the locator. Wales. And then in Wales.
Wales.
And it's Private Cooper. He's running away from some people in black shirts. They catch up with him, but he does some action punches.
Frankie and Benny's waiters running after him. You haven't paid for your lasagna.
Yeah. What's the pizza called that they fold over? That's my favourite.
Calzone.
Yeah.
Calzone or calzone.
Fungi calzone.
They're hitting him with the massive the pepper grinder.
Pepper spray. That's the best. That's a really good joke from Shrek 2. When,
is it?
Do you know what I mean? When the security guards catch up and the pepper spraying the guy with it.
Oh right, okay, no, I've not seen that.
Pepper grinder.
I don't really like Shrek. Sorry. Oh, that's a discussion for another time.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so the kid they catch up with Private Cooper, and then Liam Cunningham comes onto the scene, and he sounds like one of the guys from the Gargoyles cartoon. And he sort of comes on.
My God, what a reference!
Yeah. No.
Wow.
Pull that one out. And then he says, well done, Private Cooper. You've survived for like 22 hours or something. You're very good at this, mate. Now shoot this dog. And
basically, you can join my team, but only if you shoot this dog.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Are you gonna do it, mate? I bloody love dogs."
You couldn't do it, could you? I mean, no one could. If they could, I don't know. I don't understand.
This is the thing. Like, if you're in that situation, you're kind of thinking, if I don't shoot this dog, am I not going to get into the team? Or then do I shoot a dog and they go, "You're mental"?
Yeah. What's the test? Like, you don't know. It's like
exactly.
Now,
but to be fair,
suck my dick. No, you passed the test.
yeah, you passed the test. We do want you in our team.
No,
or you go, yes, you do it. You are in the team now. Suck my dick. Wait, is this still part of the test? No. You passed the test. Now suck my dick. Okay, get down to it. You failed the test. Wait, you can't. Oh,
this is stupid. Yes, it is stupid. You passed the test. Okay.
Oh, great. Can I go home now? You failed the test.
If anything, I'd be like, so the dog, it's a very cute dog. What's the pay? You know, you're going to start like negotiating at this point.
Yeah.
Like, what's the pension scheme like? Do I get shares?
Do I get a company car?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Fuck off then.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not doing it. I love dogs. I meant to say from the start. And so
he sticks to his guns, but then the corporal like says basically, "Oh, you're not good enough for my team then." Or is he a corporal? What is he? Private? No.
Captain.
Capitan.
His name's Captain Richard Ryan.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So basically he goes, "I'll shoot a bloody dog then," and he shoots the dog, and Private Cooper reacts like he shot literally his granddad, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Nah! Which, I mean, you know, if you like dogs, then fair enough. And then basically he says, "Oh, fuck off then." And then he like...
says,
then
he
punch him.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, yeah. I think so.
Private Cooper punches him. "That's for the dog!"
He tries to, but Captain Ryan sort of manoeuvres around him, I think. I don't think he gets to punch in. Captain Ryan is the big bad, so you're not going to win. Not right at the start of the film, anyway. So then we cut to the credits, I think, Dog Soldiers, and then we go Scotland again, and then we're back in Scotland. And Cooper is now with like they're like the TA or something. They're not like I don't think like a real army or something. They're doing some sort of training program. That it's like it's cold and the football match is on that night and they're going to miss it. And Sean Pertwee's like, "Come on, lads, we'll have a laugh or whatever." It's
it's like a training mission. So they've got like non-lethal rounds, or have they just got guns that are like
just blanks? I think it says.
They got guns with a lid on.
Yeah.
Guns with a lid screwed on.
It looks like they have got guns with a lid on. Yeah.
And it says, and I think they're doing a training mission like against like this SAS unit.
Yeah.
Special
forces. Yeah.
How'd you win that though? Like if you got guns with a lid on, how'd you know if you hit someone?
I don't know. I mean, I think in some training things they have a rubber bullets or something, or BB guns or something, and you still
water pistols.
Laser tag, quasar.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It makes a bleeping noise when you shot. I don't know. But oh man, I used to love Quasar. It's really good. But I don't know. Well, this isn't real, is it? I mean, this is just a film, mate.
Yeah, I know, but I'm sure it exists real something like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically happening at the same time. England and Germany are playing each other in the game, which was 5-1 which was maybe a World Cup qualifier. I don't know the ins and outs, mate, but I think so.
Yeah. And so we're getting more like snatch, like talking between the English people. When in all honesty, they'd be more like Jay for the in-betweeners. I think that's the kind of level of wit they would have. Be calling each other twat. You twat, like constantly.
You twat.
Ooh, you
football
twat.
Friend.
Yeah.
Army friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, rather than a sort of a constant witticism sort of stuff going on. And then what happens? So they camp out for the night. They've a live cow. The cow comes out of nowhere. That's right.
Yeah. So they're having a chat, talking about some shit, and like a dead cow just lands in the middle of their camp, which obviously they all shit themselves for.
Which now that I think about it, what?
Yeah. Again, sorry, second Alan Partridge reference of the day. Do you remember that Alan Partridge episode where they were like going under a bridge on a boat, and they push and some farmers push a cow onto him off the boat, and it lands and crushes him? That just reminded me of that. There's a bloody cow on me! Get it off! Stop rolling!
So we don't know how this cow's been mauled and stuck up a tree. And now I think about it, I don't know how even that happened. But they don't seem to take too much notice of it. They're just like, I'm not going to let this ruin my evening.
I guess maybe they're thinking it was the other team, like trying to put the willies up them, or something like that. Because what else? You're not going to think, oh, bloody werewolves!
Werewolves, classic werewolf manoeuvre.
Classic werewolf.
Yeah. So then they take. They walk a little bit further, and they come across Captain Ryan and his camp, but all of his men are dead, right?
Yeah, all of his men are dead, and well, they sort of find. First of all, they think the camp's abandoned because they're like, "There's nothing here. All their guns are here. All their stuff's here." And then Captain Ryan suddenly appears, like out in there, going, "Oh!"
He's got like
they came out of nowhere. They tore them apart. He's like that.
And look what they did to my nipples. They've got like his nipples have been scratched off or something. Like,
I mean, you don't need them, so I don't know what he's worried about.
Exactly. Chill out, mate. And then they've also got like trank guns that doesn't look like they're set out for. They haven't got the same guns with the lids on, as you say. They've got trank guns. So then they get attacked by werewolves. I think that's
but again, we don't see them, so it's kind of like what is it like dusk at this time? It's not like dark, is it? It's like dusk, and we hear like that's all fun, like all that stuff.
It's Wurzel Gummidge.
Wurzel Gummidge. I don't know if that's even right. Like I've got no point of reference for that. Wurzel Gummidge turns up and goes, "Come here, Sean. Come and sit on Daddy's knee." So they're basically they all like split off, and they're trying to get the weapons, like the actual weapons without the lids on, and they're like firing guns, and like some of them are getting stuck. Like shit, oh man.
One of them runs into a branch. And impales him. I don't think that couldn't happen. I don't think. Maybe
it's pretty dark. He's pretty dark. Maybe the werewolves.
Even if you run at it, I think it would still bounce off your rib cage. I don't think it would go all the way through. Seems a bit for a stretch.
Will you try it?
Nah.
Nah, you can't. You can't convince. You can't convince me to do that.
Yeah, but he dies anyway. Unfortunately.
Yep.
What's the name? Pertwee gets. Are we saying his name right? Pertwee sounds a bit. He gets
Pertwee.
One of them slashes his tummy. I said tummy. I've said the word tum too much this episode.
Tum slashes his tum, and all his gutty guts come out.
So, yeah, pretty much. And then what happens there? So they run away. I think.
So basically, he's like going to get finished off, but Cooper comes and like saves him, and like shoves his guts back in, pretty much.
Says they won't fit, and he goes,
has anyone ever been? Got so bloody fit. Has anyone ever been like gutted and had their intestines hang out and survived for pretty much a whole film?
Well, I don't know about. No, I think so.
It reminded me a little bit of Mr. Orange from Reservoir Dogs. You know how he's like just been shot in the gut and he's kind of like he's fucked for like the whole film.
Apparently, that's kind of like a really painful way to go because if you get gut shot, apparently all your stomach acids and stuff like spills out and it burns. It's like really burns your insides and it's not. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think.
No, I don't want that. Shot in the belly button.
I'd rather run to a branch than impale myself.
Yeah, if you had a choice, you'd rather run to a branch. So then they kind of they're like retreating, and Megan turns up in her Jeep, and she's like some sort of like zoologist.
I don't know what the fuck. I get confused with her backstory. I think. Yeah, I don't know.
She says she's been like studying animals in the area.
Yeah.
But then she's like, "Oh, there's only like one house nearby, so we'll go to that." And there's like a family who lived there, so they all go there. But the house is like abandoned.
Yeah. It's a nice house. I'd probably say £150,000 at market value.
You reckon? More than that. More than that.
No transport
More
links,
than that in this day and age.
No corner shop. I don't know, in the middle of nowhere.
A corner shop adds at least 50k onto it.
No local schools. Anyway, it's a nice house.
There's werewolves everywhere.
That's it. Yeah, it's going to bring the value down of any property, really. Not
if you just do the viewings like in the daytime.
Yeah, you don't tell them about the werewolves. You don't tell them about the black mold or the werewolves. And so they go in this house. They barricade themselves in, and then it's like there's soup on the table. One of them eats some hot soup.
So I gotta get some grub down me, mate.
Yeah,
which is good because in films like this, people don't really eat, do they? People just
they don't piss, they don't poo, they don't eat.
No, and it kind of makes sense, Yeah. They love it. They love a lovely soup. So I'm not sure exactly how it happens, but Megan basically says that those people who attacked them or those things that attacked them were werewolves, saying that she's been
lycanthropes. But she says in the way that we wouldn't know what that is. But yeah, it's 2018. We all know.
We all know what a lycanthrope is. Yeah. So basically werewolves, and of course I think a few of them are a bit dubious, like what the fuck. But they do go outside to kind of have a little look about, and they see the lanky, hairy, bitches just surround. They've surrounded the house.
They've also ripped the engine of the Jeep in a way that I imagine only Wolverine could do. Or Colossus, that's unnaturally strong. If they could rip that steel and stuff, they could just rip the door open. If they're that strong,
it's a film, Luke.
So anyway, Cooper shoots the car. It blows up. They've
obviously got a certain amount of intelligence. Then, if they could do that,
yeah, they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing, mate. Yeah. So Cooper, what? Sorry, shoots the car.
Shoots the car. It blows up. And then they go back inside, and then they're kind of trapped in there now. They meet the dog. There's a border collie in there. He tries to pull on Sean Pertwee's bandages, tries to get the guts out.
It's actually his guts, isn't it? As far as I remember, and he put on the guts.
I thought they were the bandages, but I don't know.
Maybe they are.
Wolves.
It would have been fun.
Wolves.
It'd been It'd have sausages. It would have been funnier if. Yeah. It was actually his guts.
Yeah, it would make.
I hope it was.
I hope it is.
Yeah. So so they basically they all the soldiers defend the house pretty much against the werewolves. They're constantly trying to get in, but they just go arms. They all go all army, don't they?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you.
Long fingernails to pulling in for anything. Show it, controlled bowists. What's his name?
Yeah. Short controlled bowists.
I had to write that down phonetically because I couldn't work out how he said those words like that. Yeah. So I had to write it down. Show it, controlled bowists.
That's good. So they're kind of they're all running out of ammo. They're all oh bloody hell, I've only got two for the shotgun, two for this, two for that. Obviously they're having a few issues. And they go and treat Cooper and Megan treat Wells's horrible big open stomach.
The best scene, the most memorable scene in the film, really.
Oh, apparently. So there's a moment where Cooper punches Wells.
Yeah.
Twice, and apparently one of those punches is real.
Yeah, well, he was quite annoying. So
accidentally connected.
Fucking weirdo dad wears all gummage.
Oh, don't hit my son like that.
Again, probably
definitely how he talks. And
where you going?
They use super glue on his guts to get it all back in there. He's boozing away. He gets really drunk. He does that whole thing of I love you, mate. I fucking love you.
I fucking love you. I don't tell you enough. Yeah. And he goes, he's like, it's bloody hurting, so please knock me out. So he knocks him out.
Yeah.
Bang. And then he goes, I said knock me out, you fucking pussy. Bang. Gets a second.
Yeah. Well, at what point does I don't know which one of the other men gets pulled out for the door?
Yeah, I think they kind of decide. Oh, they've fallen back, the werewolves. So we've done all right, defended ourselves. And he kind of turns his back to the window and says something like, "Fucking hell."
He does. I think he says fucking wolves or
fucking werewolves, fucking hairy bastards, and just gets pulled. In, and then they develop a plan, which is to go and get this Land Rover out of the garage, which is a little bit further away.
Yeah.
It's all pretty good as a sort of a horror film, but also as a siege, as a under siege film, which I find, I mean, are always pretty cool.
So also, there's a bit, I don't know if it's around here, Sean Cunningham, Captain Ryan, turns into a werewolf around here.
Yeah, but I think initially he explains what happened. So I think this is after they go and try and get the Land Rover. Yeah. So initially, one of them kind of goes out and creates a diversion.
Yeah.
Is a spoon? He's off. Yeah, he's off his nut. This guy, and he get like does he get a flare? He gets a flare, and he's like, the werewolf gets way too close, and he's like, "See you later."
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And then Terry, is it Terry who runs, or no? I think it's Joe. There's another one of them called Joe. He runs to get to the Land Rover, but when he gets there, he starts the engine, and the werewolf is there, eating one of the guys.
Yeah, that bit was quite brutal. I thought you saw the guy like looking over like, "Help me." And then his head just comes off. It looked good. And
the dude manages to drive the Land Rover up to the house, but then he basically gets.
Well, there's the whole thing when he goes, you just like see the breath, and he's like, "You're behind me, aren't you?"
Yeah.
And I just imagine the guy with like a dry ice machine, like bumping it.
I am behind you. But the thing is, as soon the second that I see that or hear that breath, I'm getting out. I'm scrambling to get out of the car.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. Okay, well this is it. Like you get out, you do something. And why would a werewolf just be like you'd smell it as well because like wet dog breath, it really does fucking stink.
Wet werewolf breath.
Yeah. Why don't you get some treats or take some soup out with you or something to
soup? They love soup.
Mulligatawny. They love it.
Also, I don't know if well, wolves do eat people, don't they? But if you've got like food, I think
these are werewolves, mate.
Yeah. I guess so.
Different kettle of fish.
So that's two of them dead then now. And then so you're right, it's around here where Captain Ryan tells them what happened.
Yeah, so he basically gets interrogated. They're all like, "We've had enough.
Yeah.
Like, our men are dying left, right and centre. Tell us what the hell's been going on, you bastard. We know you know." And he's a classic villain where he's like, "Ha ha, I'll tell you everything." But you still got no chance. Ha ha ha, you idiots. Yeah. Basically says that they were basically
Milo Yiannopoulos when you do that.
Oh, really?
Good. Yeah. It's nice little far right.
Yeah. Nice little far right down. He's a little bit more evil than that, isn't he? Surely.
Milo, Captain Ryan.
Milo. Okay, I think if Milo was in this, he'd be, but then turn into a werewolf would be pretty interesting.
Werewolf.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. You on?
So yeah, he basically says that they knew these werewolves were here. They wanted to capture them, exploit one of them as a weapon. It's always the same, isn't it? Like whenever there's like some sort of monster, beast, dinosaur, there's always somebody who wants to go, "We'll turn that into a weapon." It's not more effective than a gun, is it?
Well,
think of the risk. Think of the risk involved, right?
I mean, how would you know, like, if you released a werewolf in Iran? I don't know, somewhere you wanted to. You wouldn't know it was a US property, like.
No.
Unless
there's a bit. So in the new Jurassic World film, have you seen it?
No.
So they talk about developing dinosaurs as weapons, and they say basically we've got this gun here, right? And you aim it at your enemy, and you press this little. And then the dinosaur goes, "Oh, hang on a minute, over there, that's the enemy. I'll go and kill it." But you got a gun.
Yeah.
Just get rid of that laser gun, get an actual gun, and aim it at your enemy, and then you shoot them, and then they're dead. And you don't have to worry about transporting a bloody dinosaur that might eat you.
You have to feed a dinosaur. Think of the greenhouse gases as well, like the methane going into the air when they fart. Mate, the upkeep on dinosaurs must be insane.
I mean, I've never had that thought before.
Vet bills?
Glad you have. Vets bills.
Have you had it chipped? Yes.
Yeah. Getting the ticks out of their. Well, maybe they'd be alright. They don't have skin, do they? So what other? What's going? Oh yeah. So did Captain Ryan? You shows your tummy, and he's like, no.
3 times said tummy.
Captain Ryan, show us your belly button. Is it an innie? Is it an innie or is it an outie?
Yeah, but it's like really.
It's an outie. Yuck.
It's like really sensitive about it. And then he goes, no. And then they go, look, show us. And then, don't be shy, love. And then he shows him. And then he's just like healed. It's like his wounds are healed. And then I think it's around then they get into a fight and he turns into the werewolf. I think that's around that point.
Yeah. They have a bit of a fight. He slings people around. Then he ends up behind a table and then he transforms off screen. We see obviously his eyes, his teeth, and his nails go.
Liam Cunningham's well into that. It's sort of like roll as well. Gets really into it. Yeah.
So he falls behind it, transforms into a werewolf, and starts fighting everybody. And they're like smashing plates on his head and
gets a sword through the chest.
Yeah. Oh, he gets a sword through the chest. Megan's weapon is like a camera that she just flashes in their face, obviously disorientate them.
Polaroid, yeah.
But yeah, then he decides. But then after the werewolf gets a sword through his chest, he just smashes out the door and runs away.
Yeah. Okay, so it starts to come towards the end around here. I think they make some sort of plan to get out, and then we have the betrayal of the woman.
Yeah, so I think about round about now.
Yeah.
Cooper realizes that the family are the werewolves. He looks at a photo and he's just like, the reason they're.
I thought that from the start. I reckon I'm smarter than Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah. So he kind of says like they're trying to get. Do you know what I mean? That they are home. That was it. They're just trying to get in their house. That's what he wanted to do. They're like, you're in our house, you bloody knobs.
You ate our soup, and you drank our booze, and I use my super glue, my Loctite. That guy's guts. Yeah.
And then for some reason, this was a bit far-fetched, a bit silly, but Megan was like, oh, the werewolves are probably hiding in that barn there, probably chilling in the barn. So why don't you just go to the barn and blow it up, and then they'll all be dead, and then we can get out of here. So yeah, they develop like a plan to do that.
And they go to the barn that's empty, and they come back, and the wolves are there, right?
Well, they go to the barn, they blow it up. They do exactly that. They destroy it, but then Megan reveals later that, well, as they come back, she pretty much gets found out by Cooper. He's done a bit of espionage. He's putting all the clues together now.
She's like a part of the family.
She is revealed. There's no werewolves in the barn. The reason she's not in the picture is because she took it. She's a part of the family. So I don't really understand. Like, has she been suppressing her werewolf metamorphosis? Because she pretty much.
Well, I don't think this takes on the full moon aspect. If it does, I don't think we see it. It just seems to be when people get pissed off or found out.
When people decide that they want to be a werewolf, they can.
Yeah.
Okay. And she also says, and I've unlocked the back door to the house, and then the werewolves are coming in. And there's quite an iconic moment there where they all kind of surround her, all their horrible shadows surround her.
I don't know what they do with the camera. Something, maybe it's the way the werewolves are moving. Like you said, they're sort of groovy moving. But something very weird happens, like a visual thing that is very creepy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she kind of like starts to transform, but then Wells turns up and pops her in the head, and it all starts going a bit mad here, like a bit terrifying.
Isn't Megan like shooting the other wolves at some point? I swear, like she's like firing a gun at them, and like that's like her dad or something.
Yeah. I know. Maybe she just knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing.
Just leaving the toilet seat up.
Yeah. So I mean, it all goes a bit mad here. Like Cooper and Wells are like going through different rooms, and like there's a bit where they like dig through wall to like get to each other and then shoot the floor. I mean, that was bad. I just kept thinking, God, this set has just been absolutely destroyed. Or like, I just kept thinking, I wonder if it's a real house, or something.
It gets full on destroyed, doesn't it? Yeah.
It gets full on destroyed, yeah. But I'm guessing that was a miniature or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of fighting.
Yeah, you're right. They climb, they break through the wall, and then they shoot like the floor, and they fall down into the kitchen again.
Yeah. And Spoon is fighting a werewolf in the kitchen, like going absolutely apeshit, like with pans and just like smashing the fuck out of it. But actually having a boxing match with it as well.
And then he gets eaten to the point where there's nothing left. There's just bits of bubbles and blood and stuff.
So just as he's about to be eaten as well, the iconic line he says to the werewolf, "I hope I give you the shits, you dirty, rotten bastard," which is horrible, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So
He'd actually eaten he'd actually eaten a vindaloo the night before. He's only been storing it in there.
Yeah.
Waiting for the werewolf to eat him.
He knew it was going to happen. I was trying how this ends. So Sean Pertwee starts to turn. The werewolves come in.
Sean Pertwee starts to turn. He's kind of resolved himself to death. He's like, I'm going to die. Puts the gas on in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Draws the werewolves in. Cooper like escapes down into like the basement area. And when he's down there, he finds the werewolf, who was the Captain Ryan.
With the sword still in him. But then he finds the silver dagger, right?
Yeah, so he finds a silver dagger. So obviously there's loads of skeletons and loads of bits of bones and bodies.
So the family's obviously just like eating people willy-nilly, right?
Eating people willy-nilly, and they've obviously killed them. But luckily
willies and then nillies. Yeah.
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 So he stabs Ryan. He's eating their willies and their nillies. Stabs Ryan in the chest with the silver letter opener thing, and then shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
Shoots him in the head with a classic line. They think it's all over.
Mate. There's a lot of football stuff going on in this film, and then the house blows up. Really blows up.
So Sean Pertwee obviously gets a difficult moment where he goes to light it, and the werewolf knocks it out of his hand, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he presses the thing on the oven. Right? How does he get it to blow?
Yeah. He presses presses the ignition thing on the oven, and the whole house explodes. Cooper and the dog manage to survive, which is nice, isn't it?
And then they walk off and they live together happily ever after. But and then we get maybe the best bit about the film is like the post-credits thing with a newspaper headline that says 5-1, and then like a sub-heading is werewolves ate my platoon. I think it was good. That was a nice little way to end it.
And then as the credits roll, we get to see all of the photos, obviously that were taken by Megan while they were being attacked by werewolves, which is pretty good. Seeing people grabbed by werewolves, smashing plates over the heads of werewolves. Loads of cool stuff like that.
Dude, are you ready for some trivia?
Hell yes.
Okay, you might know some of this stuff already. You might not. That's part of the fun of trivia. So number one, which boldy badass Englishman was supposed to play the part of Private Cooper?
Jason Statham.
He was. Jason Statham was supposed to play the part all the way up until not long before they started shooting. And John Carpenter said, "Do you want to come and be in Ghosts of Mars?" And he chose to do that instead. Which isn't a great choice. But but it's John Carpenter, so he probably couldn't say no.
Yeah, probably couldn't say no to that.
Yeah. Number two, which sort of balding but receding hairline at the least funny Englishman was supposed to play the part of Spoon?
Receding head Englishman. Sort of funny, do you say?
No, sort of balding.
Sort of balding.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Give me another clue.
No.
Just tell me then.
Okay. His name rhymes with Pyman Clegg.
Oh my god, is that true?
Yeah.
Simon Pegg.
Yeah, it does.
Pyman Clegg.
Simon Pegg was supposed to play the part of Spoon. No, I think Neil Marshall offered him the part of Spoon, but Simon Pegg said he promised Edgar Wright that his first feature film would be with him. Instead he did Shaun of the Dead, which was the correct choice. But can you imagine if Jason Statham and Simon Pegg were in this film? I kind of feel like it would work really quite well. I feel like the comedy would be nailed. I feel like Jason Statham plays that sort of badass, sort of ludicrous action role.
So who was he supposed to be playing? Cooper.
Private Cooper, the main dude.
Yeah, that would have worked.
Him, Sean Pertwee, and Simon Pegg. It would have been amazing, really. But
it is amazing. So.
Yeah. And number three, which actor had a tipple on set?
Sean Pertwee.
He did, yeah. He got hammered during the drunk scenes because I think he wanted it to be real and thirsty.
He's a method actor, you see. He's basically like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Like alcohol scenes.
Yeah. You're going to have your guts ripped out for real. No!
Well, I'm an actor, mate. I could pretend. What about the alcohol scene? Method.
That method. Yeah, I probably should have a kind of special.
Number 4. Some of the corpses hanging around in the basement were originally created for and used in what space movie?
Space movie?
Yeah.
Like one of the aliens, like Alien Resurrection?
No, it was Event Horizon.
Oh, oh bloody hell! That's a scary. That should be one we do on the
definitely
podcast, because that's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know if it would hold up as well. It freaked me the fuck out when I first saw it, but I mean, I think maybe because we all knew Sam Neill as the good guy from Jurassic Park, and now he's got no eyes. Okay, number 5. Number 5. If you were a dog, what breed would you be?
Interesting. Probably like a Jack Russell, just like.
Incorrect. You would. Yorkshire Schnauzer would be the correct answer.
What's that?
I don't know. I thought I made it up, but I googled it and it was a real dog.
Oh yeah, when you think you made things up and you Google it and then it exists, you're like, oh bloody hell, that new idea for a book is now can't do it anymore. Dinosaurs in a theme park. Great stuff. It's been done.
Sam Neill without eyes. Shit.
Oh damn. Sam Neill with eyes.
I can't win.
Every other film he's in.
Okay, so dude, what are you going to give this one? What are you going to give the Dog Soldiers?
I got a lot of time for Dog Soldiers. Again, another film that I always sort of refer back to in terms of those sort of like B-movie type, really enjoyable horror movies. I mean, it's just a riot, isn't it? Really. Yeah, I don't think I'd go as far as to put it in the A bracket, but I mean, it's a high B, so I'm going to go for a B plus.
Wow, I was going to give it a C plus because I thought it's fun, very dated. I don't think I watched it too many times. Like,
how dare you?
I think I'm done for now. I mean, for next 10 years, next 10 years. But it's good, man.
It's one of those films. If I turn on the TV and it was on now, like I'd probably like watch a bit of it, just because I find it thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah. And now that you can kind of pretend that you're watching Jason Statham and Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to the guy who played Spoon? Because
I wonder what happened to Simon Pegg and Jason Statham.
Yeah.
After that,
imagine if they went and did this film, how much bigger they would be. So next week we're starting your game one, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I know we did discuss. So as it's October now, we're going to be knuckling down for some Halloween stuff. We got some stuff planned for the Halloween week.
Yeah.
But we kind of need a few more details confirmed before we decide exactly what we're going to do with that. So we won't kind of discuss it yet. But before that, we were going to do some horror movies that were adaptations from video games because, as far as I could tell, there are only 3.
Well, 3? What are you talking about? So Resident Evil, Silent Hill. Are you talking about Silent Hill Revelation? What?
No. So not including the sequels. I'm just
Alone in the Dark.
Including properties. Yeah. So Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and Alone in the Dark, where the quality obviously dips and but it could be interesting. So we are going to do Resident Evil next. So the Mila Jovovich thing.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Well, there we go.
And I remember liking it. I remember having it around me. There's some like bits like Cube in there that I remember.
Yeah. It's got a lot going for it. For me, it's an enjoyable film. It doesn't feel like a Resident Evil film. It just feels like a film. Do you know what I mean?
A film, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't nail that Resident Evil vibe, and it kind of is a bit schlocky. But it's the only one of the series that I can kind of tolerate. Anything after that, I kind of love to hate.
What was the second one?
The second one's Apocalypse.
What?
Which has got like a nemesis in it. Yeah, already.
I thought that was like because there's like apocalyptic ones.
No, the second one's Apocalypse.
Down. But like, I mean, like end of the world ones, right? Is this
Extinction's like the end of the world one.
But the Apocalypse one isn't the end of the world one. Is that what you say?
Yeah, the Apocalypse one is like in Raccoon City. Yeah. Basically, there's one of the Resident Evil, whatever it is, the final chapter. One of the worst films I've ever seen in my life, and I paid money to see it.
They got you, man. They punked you.
They punked me. But Resident Evil, the first one, the only one I can kind of tolerate. So yeah. We'll see how it holds up. We'll see.
Okay, so we'll do Resident Evil next week then.
Yep.
This show is brought to you by Hawk and Cleaver. Head over to hawkandcleaver.com. Go and become a patron over at patreon.com/Hawk and Cleaver. Thanks to Kovac Cowman for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Thanks to the listeners. If you enjoyed the show, please consider giving us a 5-star rating review in iTunes and remember to hit subscribe. Thanks to my co-host Ben for being a right horror dude.
Thank you very much, Luke. Nice one.
Whoa, that was weird. It said nice at the same time. Okay, cool. All right, man.
Same level, mate.
A bit.
Bye.